welcome back to the show as we begin to shift our focus to the midterm elections. 6 weeks from now, voters will decide races on the state and local level, as well as several propositions. So between now and Election Day, we want to look at some of the hotly contested races and help answer some of those questions we know you have about those very confusing propositions. So we'll do that tonight with our political analyst, outgoing state assemblyman Chad Mays. There he is. Thank you so much for being here. We served 8 years, 5 as a Republican before declaring himself an independent, and he's joining us here tonight, and we'll be here Tuesdays and Thursdays until the big night.
Tuesdays and Thursdays until Election Day. Yeah, it's going to be pretty exciting. So you call me outgoing assemblyman. I'm still getting used to that. You know, they talk about you being a lame duck in your final year. I think I'm going from being a lame duck to very quickly being a dead duck. So thank you so much for having me on. It's going to be great on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Yes, we're looking forward to all of your insight. You certainly have been behind the scenes on a lot of these meetings. You know, you have a wide base of knowledge, so we're looking forward to hearing all you have to say. And tonight, we mentioned those confusing propositions. There are 2 that are focused on sports betting, 26 and 27. And we kind of wanted to break these down for you because we know some people may be wondering, well, what does each proposition entail? What would it mean if you voted yes on 26 or yes on 27? So why don't we start with 26 tonight? Do you want to kind of tell us a little bit about this proposition? We know our local Agua Caliente Band of Cahuilla Indians, the 29 Palms Band of Mission Indians, is supporting this proposition. So what does this one do?
Sure. We're going to talk about both Prop 26 and Prop 27. The reason we're talking about that this evening is because you can't turn your TV on right now without seeing an ad. It's either going to be yes on 27, no on 26, or yes on 26 and no on 27. So really, this is a turf fight between those who are currently in California operating gaming facilities and those who want to come into California. And you've got on Prop 27, the supporters are FanDuel, you've got BetMGM, you've got DraftKings, who want to come in and get the 40 million Californians to start betting sports wagering online. Now, the tribal casinos, of course, don't want that. In fact, as you know, years ago, we passed a proposition that really gave a monopoly to the tribes to be able to operate casinos in California. Well, what Prop 26 will do was allow sports wagering in person, on site at those tribal casinos and of the 4 racetracks in California. So that's what Prop 26 is. So a yes on Prop 26 would allow in-person sports wagering. Prop 27, it's not about homelessness, it's not about mental health issues, although there's some funding that will go there. But what it really is about, it's about whether we're going to allow for sports wagering in California.
You mentioned the funding there. I know that has been a big tack on to 27 to support homelessness. Where would the funding for 26 be going as well? Is that staying just with the tribes and the casinos?
No, there will be some money that will go to the state of California. The one thing about Prop 26 that is a concern, someone might even call it a poison pill, is that there's a little provision in there that would not allow card rooms to continue to operate as card rooms are. So not only do we have the tribal casinos, we've got our racetracks, we've got the state lottery, but there's also card rooms that have licenses in the state of California. For some cities, those card rooms are huge to their revenue, and that could end up going away if Prop 26 is passed.
We talked a little about it before we started the segment, kind of about the future of both of these, if we see them passing or not. It's interesting to see this now in California because this is an extremely large state, and we're one of the few that doesn't have this quite ironed out. Do you think this is an important topic to start putting into the conversation for the state of California right now, or is this something that you see starting to get sorted out maybe a little further down the line?
Well, that's up to the voters to be able to decide. Currently, online sports betting is allowed in 17 states across the country. I was reading just a little bit earlier today in preparation for tonight that in Pennsylvania they had almost $800 million in bets in 1 month.
Wow.
And so we're talking about big money. Now, Pennsylvania is not as big as California, and so there's no wonder why these initiatives, there's almost $500 million have been spent on these 2. That's why you can't watch TV without seeing an ad.
Oh yes, it's that season now. We're going to speak about all the time. My last question really quickly about 26 and 27. I know there's been some confusion where people are saying if I vote no on one, am I automatically voting yes on the other, or are these 2 that could pass simultaneously or both fail simultaneously?
Yeah, they both stand on their own. So both Prop 26 could pass and Prop 27 could pass. I'd have to actually look at the language, because oftentimes when there's initiatives that are drawn, there's language in there that one would be over. But one is in-person betting, the other one is online. It looks like today, though, I'm not sure that that's even going to be a question we have to answer, because the PPIC did a poll a few weeks ago, and it looked like these both were going down. So we'll wait and see. Of course, as you know, polls don't say everything.
That's true. Anything you want to mention tonight? We're just tip of the iceberg tonight. We're just covering these first few props. We'll have a lot more conversations coming up. We have just a few weeks until the election, but anything on 26 and 27 that you wanted to add in?
Well, I think we've answered the question on 26 and 27. I hope we made it very simple for folks. There are 7 other propositions. Hopefully, either Thursday night or we'll get into next week. There's also the statewide races. There's a couple of possibly hot statewide races with the Attorney General and also the state controller. We've got a congressional race that's here that's pretty hot, a state assembly race that's here that's pretty hot. So we'll get into some of that as we move forward.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being here. Again, we are looking forward to all of those conversations. And as we mentioned, Assemblyman Mays will be here every Tuesday and Thursday up to the election day. And then he'll be here with us live as we bring you election results November 8th. That's 6 weeks from tonight. So we're looking forward to all of those conversations. That does it for our Decision 2022 segment tonight, though. We are back after this break. Stay with us.